So while this looks pretty complex, it's actually a pretty simple balancing situation. And one of the things that I first look at is to see if there's any polyatomic ions that are present. And we see that hydroxide is present here and water is present here. And I like to simplify the balancing process by making this HOH and thinking about it that way instead of H2O. It really does simplify things. So then if we actually look at what is going on here, the other complicated thing is that we see chlorine in two different compounds over here where it's only in one on this side, and simply, categorizing all of our elements, and so I kind of did that out of order, but just writing down all of the things that show up on this side that also show up on this side. We have calcium, chlorine, OH, H. Did I miss anything? All right, so then over here I have 2 carbons, and over here I have 2 carbons, and here I have 2 H's, and I know that there are 2 here, but I'm going to only count them in these OH's down here. And here I have 1, 2. Don't forget that. Okay. And then the calciums, I have 1. And calcium, I have 1. Chlorine is where it gets a little funky. I have 4 here, and I have 5 on this side. 3 and 2 is 5. And then the OH's, I have 2, and OH here I have 1. So then what I know is that this chlorine is going to be the trickiest, right? But I also have to think that it's in 2 places on this side. So if I have 4 chlorines here, the only thing I can do is change this by putting a coefficient in the front. And when I do that, it's always going to be an even number. So I have to get this to an even number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that 2 chlorines alone, but I'm going to change this to 6 chlorines on this. So if I see 6 here and 2 here, that's 8. Well, that is a multiple of 4, right? So if I can change the chlorines now to 8 in both sides of the equation, then things get a whole lot simpler, all right? By putting this 2 here, that changes that to 4. By putting this 2 here, that also changes that to 4. The hydrogens have now increased to 4 on this side. As I put this 2 here, it makes 2, but then I have 1 here, which is now 3, which complicates things just a tiny bit, and then my chlorines, we have already changed our values here. So then when I finally look at this and see where I'm still imbalanced, I see that I'm still not balanced with the hydrogens. But I only have 1 here. I have the OH's here, and we still have these OH's hanging out there. But notice my hydrogens, I have 2 here and 1 here. If I actually put a coefficient of 2 here, that's going to change that to 2 and 2, which is 4. But it also changes my OH's to 2, which is fantastic for balancing our OH's. And now I look at it, I've got 4 carbons, 4 hydrogens, 1 calcium, 8 chlorines, and 2 hydroxides, which gives me this balancing solution. Hope that's helpful.